Hello there, everyone. In this video today, I'll be going through our week 11 assignment introductions. This week we do have two programming assignments that we're going to do. They're pretty similar. We have an investment calculator and a loan calculator. So yeah, let's dive into this, see what we need to do. Expand on what you learned last week and write two more programs that use functions with parameters. We're going to write an HTML document that looks like this with several functions. We have a do FV and a compute future value. Okay. doFV takes no parameters, is called from the onClick attribute, gets inputs from the user using document.getElementById, and the compute future value won't get input from the user, but takes parameters, and we'll do this math and return that value. Okay, so let's dive into that. I'm going to split my screen here. I'm going to copy my template into a new file. Call this week 11 assignment. You know what? We're going to call this an investment calculator. Calculator. Okay, we're going to save this. All right, week 11 investment calculator. So we're going to need two functions. Template function isn't one of them. That's okay. We're going to call this one doFV. All right, and then in here we'll just say investment calculator. Just like this. It looks like an H1 tag. And then in here we're going to have four inputs, it looks like. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I did that by hitting Control C and then Control V several times. And each one of these is going to need a label. So we'll have amount invested, principal, and so forth. But we will put two breaks at the end, I think is what we'll need to make, well, let's try one. See what we get with that. In our next video, I'll show you how to do this. This, though, looks like a table. That looks like a single column right here, and that looks like another column. But for now, we'll just leave it like this. Okay. I'll go ahead and put these other labels on here. Annual rate, example, 0.08. Number of years, and periods per year. Okay. And then if we had one more break, well, we'll just delete that for now. Compute future value is what we're going to say on our button. And then we're going to need an output div. Okay, so if I copy this and paste it. All right, so that looks kind of like theirs. A little bit uglier, but that's okay. And then we have our do FV, do future value function. Now, if we look back at this, similar to last week, this function is going to take no parameters and is going to get all of our inputs. So I already know this is going to need 4 inputs for each one of these. Each one of these is going to need a unique ID. We're going to need a unique variable name for those, and then we're going to call our next function, which is compute future value. Compute future value. Principal, annual rate, years, periods. It's a little hard to see. Periods per year. If that ever happens and you can't read something that's like that, you can just highlight it, and then you can see it a little better. I could have just copied this whole thing. All right, so we'll call that, and then we'll assign that back to a value, whatever we want, var temp for now. And then we're probably just going to output that. Okay, just like that. Okay, and then if we ran this right now, we get an error because that's undefined, so we have to declare that. And it will take 4 parameters, and it will be these parameters. Just paste those in there this time. Okay, and then we know we're going to be returning a value. We just have to do some math first. Okay, and if we look at our math, it looks like second function computes and returns the future value of an investment. The formula for computing the future value of an investment is. F is the future value. A is the investment amount called principal. So I'm actually going to stick this in here as a comment so we can see that. And let's JavaScriptify it. Oh, that's not a word, sorry guys. And leave it like that. And we're going to have to replace these names with these names, depending on which ones we need. Yeah, we're going to skip that for this one. Yeah, so if you have any questions on this, let me know. Let's jump to our next one. I'm going to copy this and paste it and save it as our week 11 assignment 2. And this is going to be our loan calculator. Okay, we have 4 functions in this one. We have due payment, due balance, compute payment, and compute balance. Okay, so due payment and due balance take no parameters. So we can make this one due payment. That'll take no parameters. So we're going to probably have a similar one to this called due balance, because that one said it'll take no parameters. And meaning when it says no parameters, it means we're going to have to get those from the user. Okay, and then it'll call compute payment and compute balance. So I'm actually just going to copy both of those and paste them here. I'm going to hit Control-Shift-L to make a cursor on each line, hit home. And then I'm going to end, put some brackets on those. And if we have due payment, we're going to call compute payment from there. We're going to call compute balance from there. Let's see what else needs to happen. So first 2 functions take no parameters, are called from on-click attributes. Okay, so we're going to need a button. So we have amount borrowed. Let's change this up a little bit. Amount borrowed, principal. Let's see. If you want to see the image, I'm going to right click on this and inspect it. I'm going to blow this up a little bit. And you can actually delete these items. There, now we can see our image. All right, so let's put that back and close this now that we can see our image. Amount borrowed principal, annual interest rate, example 0.065. Number of years, payments per year, compute payment. And we need to call due payment on this function call. All right, and then we're gonna have an output, and then we're gonna have a number of payments paid to date with another input, and then another button with compute payoff amount. Oops. And then another output div. Output payoff amount. Okay. So if I ran this, let me copy this and paste it in here. You can see it looks similar. Again, I want you guys to explore how to do a table, so just Google HTML table to figure out how you want to do this. We'll do it in the walkthrough video. These compute payment and compute balance, let's look at those real quick before we end this video. Oh, that's the wrong one. All right, the formula for computing a loan payment is this. Okay, so I would probably want to split this up. I would say var AR equals A times R, or I could say like var top equals A times R, depending on what A and R are. And then I would say var bottom equals, and then I would have this right here as well. Okay, something like that to kind of like split it up. That isn't going to be there. This whole thing is going to be math.pow with that there and something like that. I'm not saying that that's right, but we might want something like that in there. Okay. So you might want something like that for this first one and then do something similar with this one. If you want to break it up, you can. If you don't want to break it up, that's fine. I could easily put this down here in parentheses and make it so that everything's happening in the right order that I want it to. And then you'll have something like this for the next one. Okay. So if you have any questions on this, just let me know. But I hope that this gives you a helpful start.